There is a kind of pain that doesn't scream, it just quietly rearranges everything inside you, and lately you've been feeling it, haven't you? That heaviness in your chest, that unexplained sadness, that feeling like something inside you is slowly falling apart, and no matter how much you try to ignore it, it keeps coming back in silence, in late nights, in those moments when you're alone with your thoughts. But what if you're not actually falling apart? What if you're breaking open instead? Because not all breaking is destruction, some breaking is transformation in disguise. Like a seed buried deep in the soil, it doesn't become a tree without first cracking open in the dark, and maybe just maybe that's exactly where you are right now, in the dark, under pressure, in a phase where nothing feels certain and everything feels heavy. You question yourself, you question your path, sometimes you even question your own worth. But what you don't see yet is that the life meant for you cannot be built by the version of you that you're slowly outgrowing, so something inside you has to break. The old beliefs, the old attachments, the old identity you've been holding onto for too long, and yes, it hurts, because growth never feels like growth when you're inside it. It feels like loss, it feels like everything is slipping away, but in reality something new is making space within you. And here's the truth no one tells you. The pain you're feeling right now is not here to destroy you, it's here to introduce you to someone you've never truly met before, the real you. What makes this phase even harder is that the battle you are fighting is invisible, no one around you can fully see it, no one can truly understand why you feel so tired even when you haven't done anything physical, because this exhaustion is not of the body, it's of the soul, it's the weight of becoming someone new while still holding on to who you used to be. And that in-between space is one of the most uncomfortable places a person can exist in, because you don't belong to your past anymore. But you haven't fully stepped into your future either. You feel disconnected, lost, sometimes even empty, and in those moments you might think something is wrong with you, but the truth is something is changing within you, something deeper than habits or routines. Your perspective is shifting, your tolerance is changing, the things that once felt normal no longer feel right, and that creates confusion. Because your old life is still there but your soul no longer fits into it the same way, and this creates an inner conflict, a silent war between staying the same and becoming who you are meant to be, and most people run away at this stage, they distract themselves, they go back to comfort, they silence the call of growth, but you stayed, even when it hurt, even when it felt like everything inside you was breaking, and that right there is your strength, because this breaking is not your weakness. It is proof that you are no longer willing to settle for a life that doesn't align with who you truly are becoming. The hardest part of growth is not becoming someone new, it is letting go of who you used to be, because that version of you is familiar, it feels safe, it holds memories, emotions, and pieces of your identity that you've carried for so long, and even if it no longer serves you, a part of you still wants to hold on, because letting go feels like losing a piece of yourself. But what you don't realize yet is that you are not losing yourself, you are shedding layers that were never truly you to begin with, layers built from fear, from expectations, from past experiences that shaped you but were never meant to define you forever, and now life is asking you to release them, not all at once, but slowly, painfully, honestly, and that's why it feels so heavy, because you are grieving a version of yourself while still being alive, you are saying goodbye to habits, to mindsets, to people, to patterns that once felt like home. And that kind of goodbye doesn't come with closure, it comes with silence and confusion. But in that silence something powerful is happening, you are creating space, space for clarity, space for truth, space for a version of you that is more aligned, more aware, more real, and even though it feels like you are losing control, you are actually stepping into a deeper kind of control, one that comes from understanding who you are without all the noise, and that is not weakness. That is transformation in its rawest form. There was once a person who looked into the mirror every single day, trying to recognize themselves, but over time the reflection started to feel unfamiliar, not because their face had changed, but because something inside them no longer matched who they saw on the outside. One day, in a moment of frustration and emotional overwhelm, they broke that mirror, watching it shatter into countless pieces on the floor, and for a second, everything felt worse, because now there was no reflection at all. Just broken fragments scattered around. But as they slowly looked closer, something unexpected happened. In each broken piece, they saw a different part of themselves, not just the image they were used to, but emotions, truths, and hidden parts of their identity that they had ignored for so long, and for the first time, they realized that the mirror was never meant to show them who they truly were, it only showed a limited version. A controlled version, a version shaped by what they thought they should be, and breaking it didn't destroy them, it revealed them, it allowed them to see themselves from different angles, raw and unfiltered, and that's when they understood that sometimes things don't break to end, they break to expand, to show you more than what you were willing to see before, and just like that mirror, maybe your breaking is not here to leave you empty, maybe it's here to help you see yourself more clearly than ever before. Not as one fixed identity, but as a growing, evolving soul that cannot be confined to a single reflection. There comes a point in this journey where nothing feels like it belongs to you anymore, the things you once loved don't excite you the same way, the people you once connected with start to feel distant, even your own thoughts begin to sound unfamiliar, and this phase can be one of the most confusing parts of transformation, because it feels like you're losing everything that once made you feel like yourself. But in reality you are not losing yourself, you are outgrowing the version of you that was attached to those things, and that creates a strange emptiness, a space where the old has left but the new has not fully arrived yet, and in that space you may feel disconnected, restless, even a little numb, but this is not a sign that something is wrong, it is a sign that something is shifting deeply within you, your energy is changing, your awareness is expanding, and your soul is no longer satisfied with what once felt enough. And that's why everything feels different, because you are different now, even if you can't fully explain it yet, and this phase is asking you for patience, not answers, it's asking you to sit with the discomfort instead of running back to what is familiar, because going back might feel easier, but it will only delay the growth that is already unfolding within you, and even though it feels like you are in between two versions of yourself, this in-between is not empty, it is preparation. It is where your new self is quietly taking shape. One of the hardest things you will ever be asked to do in life is to trust a process that you cannot fully understand, especially when everything around you feels uncertain and nothing seems to be making sense, because the human mind wants clarity, it wants control, it wants to know where all of this is leading, but growth does not always offer explanations in the moment, sometimes it only gives you feelings, discomfort, and a quiet inner push that you cannot ignore, and that's where trust becomes essential, not blind trust in the world, but a deeper trust in yourself, in the part of you that knows something is changing even if you cannot explain how or why, and this trust is not built overnight, it is built in moments where you choose to keep going despite the confusion, where you choose to stay present instead of escaping, where you allow yourself to feel everything without trying to fix it immediately, and slowly, without you even realizing it, things begin to shift, not always in visible ways, but internally, your strength increases, your awareness deepens, and your connection with yourself becomes stronger, and one day you will look back at this phase and realize that even when you felt lost, you were actually being guided, even when you felt like everything was breaking, something within you was being rebuilt with more truth, more depth, and more alignment than ever before. The truth is, you were never meant to stay the same person forever, but somewhere along the way you started believing that stability means becoming fixed, predictable, and unchanging, and that belief slowly turned into a cage, because every time life tried to evolve you, you resisted it, every time something inside you wanted to grow, you questioned it, and now that change is finally happening, it feels uncomfortable, it feels unnatural, but that's only because you've been holding on to a version of yourself that has already expired, and your soul knows it, your energy knows it, even your discomfort is trying to tell you that you cannot keep living a life that no longer reflects who you are becoming, and this is why everything feels like it's shifting at once, your mindset, your emotions, your connections, your desires, because growth is not selective, it transforms everything that is not aligned. And yes, it can feel overwhelming, it can feel like you are losing control, but in reality you are being redirected, you are being pulled away from what is no longer meant for you and guided towards something that is more real, more honest, more you, and even if you cannot see the full picture yet, this change is not random, it is necessary, because the person you are becoming requires a different life, a different mindset, a different level of awareness, and you cannot step into that while holding on to who you used to be. There was once a vast forest, full of tall trees, strong roots, and years of quiet growth. It looked alive on the outside, but deep within, parts of it had started to decay, the soil was no longer as rich, some trees were growing weak, and the balance that once kept everything thriving had slowly been lost, but from the outside, no one could see it, everything still looked normal, until one day, a fire broke out, and it spread quickly, burning everything in its path, turning strong trees into ashes and leaving the entire forest looking destroyed, and for a moment, it felt like the end of everything, like nothing could ever grow there again, but what seemed like destruction was actually a hidden form of renewal, because as the fire cleared away the old, it returned nutrients back to the soil, it made space for new life to emerge, and over time, something beautiful happened, new plants began to grow, stronger trees took root, and the forest slowly came back to life, healthier and more balanced than before, and if you had only seen the fire, you would have called it destruction, but if you stayed long enough to witness what came after, you would have understood that it was necessary, and just like that forest, maybe your life feels like it's burning right now, maybe everything you once knew feels like it's falling apart, but this fire is not here to end you, it is here to clear what no longer serves you, to make space for something stronger, something more aligned, something that could never grow in the environment you were holding on to before. At some point, without even realizing it, you will begin to notice small changes within yourself, not loud or dramatic, but quiet and powerful. The way you react to things will shift, the way you see people will change, the things that once triggered you will slowly lose their control over you, and you will start to feel a sense of calm where there used to be chaos, and that's when you will understand that this breaking was never meaningless. It was shaping you into someone stronger, someone wiser, someone more connected to truth than ever before, and the pain that once felt unbearable will begin to make sense, not because it was easy, but because it was necessary, and you will no longer crave the same validation, the same attention, or the same life you once thought you needed, because you will have discovered something deeper within yourself, a sense of self that is not dependent on the outside world. And that is where your true power lies, in knowing who you are without needing constant reassurance, in standing firm in your growth even when others don't understand it, and in choosing yourself again and again, even after everything you've been through, and that version of you, the one that is emerging through all this chaos, is not weak, is not broken, it is refined, it is real, and it is exactly who you were always meant to become. And one day, you will look back at this phase of your life, not with pain, but with understanding. You will see how everything that felt like it was breaking you was actually building you, how every moment of confusion was guiding you, how every loss was creating space for something better, and you will realize that you were never falling apart, you were falling into alignment, becoming someone who is no longer afraid to outgrow, to let go, to evolve, and that realization will change everything. Because you will stop resisting the process, you will stop questioning your worth, and you will start trusting your journey in a way you never did before, and even if life challenges you again, even if things feel uncertain in the future, you will carry this quiet strength within you, the kind that comes from having survived your own transformation, and in that moment, you will finally understand that your breaking was not a sign of weakness, it was a sign that you were ready to step into a life that reflects your truth, your growth, and your depth, and this is not your end, this is your beginning, the beginning of a version of you that is no longer afraid to become who they truly are.